Welcome to Glow Up or Get Out. I almost forgot the name of our podcast, bro. It's been that long. Welcome back. We took our hiatus, and I think we're supposed to feel like 100 times more refreshed.
I just feel a little behind.
Yeah. I'd say, like, refreshed-wise,
it's been good.
Maybe, like, 80 times more refreshed instead of 100 times.
Totally.
Just, you know, because we worked on other stuff still, so, you know, it wasn't like a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna, like,
get into
some hard hitters. Today's podcast is all about the importance of having a routine.
I feel like now, I mean, I know we didn't, like, plan it this way, but it feels like this is, like, the most perfect episode to start with after, like, this whole hiatus.
After going off of our routine.
Yeah.
So you read a book on it.
Yeah.
Like, just out of coincidence.
The book I read is called Manage Your Day-to-Day, Build Your Routine, Find Your Focus, and Sharpen Your Creative Mind. It's edited by Jocelyn K, Glei, and forward by Scott Belsky, which I'm assuming that's, like, what it means. Like, he's the one who had the ideas.
Wrote it.
And then it was edited.
And she made it a book.
Correct.
Look at us.
I don't know if I would recommend this book just yet. I actually never finished it. I started it. I mean, if you guys watched our last episode, which was like the resolution or New Year's resolutions, my resolution was to read more books throughout the year, which I feel like I've been doing. I actually tried to start this book at the beginning of the year as like a...
You've had that book, though.
Yeah, well, it's actually Logan's book. She also never finished it. But, I mean, I was like, you know, I'll give it a try, whatever. And I just, like... I think it was, like, too structured for me to kind of, like, enjoy it. I've, like, been more on of, like, a spiritual kick and a lot more about, like, manifestation and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to give this book a try because I do feel like I need a more solid routine. And, I mean, it did give me some tips. Like, I read pretty much up into page, like, 80. So, I mean, I got through a lot of the book. The book is, like, 220 pages. It's a good chunk. But it did give me some good tips. So, I thought I'd share some based on what this book said. So, in general, like, the book describes the importance of self-routine and doing the things that you enjoy the most early in your morning, like early in your routine, which I've never actually like heard of that. Yeah. I think a lot of people think about their routine of like, let's get everything that I need to get done now, and then I can get to my important stuff or the stuff that I enjoy after.
Yeah.
Which was like a really interesting reset in my mind. And I think I agree with the book. I think there's like limitations to it because he did, in the book, the author did give some, so like some anecdotes of like certain people. So for example, there was like certain painters that like, or like creatives who started their morning with, you know, doing their painting, even though whatever, like that's not maybe the bigger picture of like what they ended up selling or what became like famous, quote unquote famous. But they started their morning with like the things that made them do their like other work better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel like I want to get up in the morning and get on my iPad and start drawing or like start making logos and shit, you know, like that's not something that I would really enjoy. But I guess that's where like I define the difference between work and finding things that inspire me.
Yeah.
But anyway, the tips that they gave were start your great work, which is what they call like the stuff that inspires you. Start your great work before everything else that you do in the morning. So like before you do anything intensive where like your attention is put away from yourself or like your inspirations. And then the second thing was establishing associative triggers for your creativity or for like the you time that you're supposed to be putting into your morning routine. Mm-hmm. And some things that I feel like I've incorporated that into my current routine, which would be like I light a candle sometimes, or Logan and I just got a diffuser. We start like orange essential oil because it's like supposed to be like awakening or whatever. We do that, or like we'll listen to some music in the morning, just that kind of stuff. So those are your triggers so that your brain or like your body just knows like, okay, now is the time to do this certain routine. I think that's like a really cool trick.
Yeah, I like that.
Because it's like sensories are really important to you, and like they help you kind of like put you in a certain state.
I mean, that's like when people are relaxing or whatever. Now I'm gonna light my candle or whatever, because you're telling yourself like, when my candles are lit,
I'm relaxing or whatever. Yeah,
Makes
exactly.
sense.
I think that's really, really key now in my current routine. Also, I think the last two are kind of like duh, but like honestly, like remember this. Defending this time to yourself and your routine with defending your time and like making sure that you don't distract yourself with emails. And I think in today's day and age is like your phone in general. So like no social media, no like answering text messages. Like make sure that you're really about, I mean, obviously if there's like an emergency, by all means go ahead. Or like, for example, I text Sam like, hey, what time are you coming over? That is kind of important because then I like know how much time I have for myself. But other than that, like I try not to go on social media. I try not to like look at any emails or like just anything on my phone that will distract me or put me in a different state, because like I'm trying to take it serious. Mm-hmm. Don't wait to feel in the mood to do your routine. So like this is by like saying like don't wait until like you feel inspired or like today's a good day, so I'm gonna do my routine. Like make sure that your routine sticks with you like throughout the shitty days when you wake up like shit, or like also to the days that you feel fabulous or whatever. Like make sure that this routine is consistent, because then your mood is also gonna continuously be a little bit more consistent. Like sometimes I wake up in a bad mood and I don't want to read, but I like force myself to read at least like a page, or like I like say, okay, today you're gonna read like 5 minutes at least. Mm-hmm. And that will like already like trigger me to be like, all right, maybe I want to read it some more, like that's kind of interesting. Let's just do the rest of my routine, and having that consistency will definitely push you to like have this routine of also just creativity. Because I feel like a big part of what they said in the book was a lot of people think that like creatives just like have like this spark of like, oh my god, I like got an idea or whatever. But a lot of it comes from like doing the same things even when you don't want to do it. Like a routine of like creating something, like just being creative, but doesn't necessarily mean that you like are creating great work. It just means that you're like consistently trying to achieve something, and that creates like muscle memory for you to like have better ideas, which to me sounded kind of like opposite, because you don't think like creativity is structured. Yeah. But I think that makes sense, because like when you're like training your brain to be in a certain mood, it might be easier and like less cluttered in your brain to like just come up with something.
Especially if you already know like this is the set amount of time I have to do whatever your routine is. Yeah.
So those are the tips that the book gave me. I do eventually want to finish it just because I feel like it gave some insight. Yeah. But I started to feel like the book was a little repetitive, so I didn't continue, but we'll see if I ever finish it. But I did get a lot of good information from the amount that I read. Yeah. And I thought it'd be nice to share and whatnot.
Very good tips. I liked them. I'm curious how they would work for someone who's like terrible with structure. Because a lot of creatives are. Like, I feel like we're not that type of creative. Like, no. I think we like structure. So I'm curious, like, if it was just a creative who's like...
Absolutely, yeah. No. But the thing is I know people who are creatives, and I genuinely feel like they can flourish a little bit more with a little bit of structure. It doesn't need to be so rigid. Yeah. Where you say, I wake up at 7:30, and then by 8 o'clock, I need to be showered. Like, as long as you have, like, a set amount of time, like, okay, within these 3 hours, I want to get these things done. I feel like that might help.
I think it'll make more sense when we talk about like what our ideas are.
Yeah. But you're right. I think that's a really interesting thought.
We're gonna go through what our routine was pre-COVID. Yeah. During COVID, and then now.
Which is still during COVID, but I guess like when it was like full force.
Like mid-COVID, I guess then. Yeah. You could say.
My old routine was actually like I lived in Seattle, so I think right there off the bat, that's something different. Logan and I lived in a studio apartment, and we obviously had to walk Harley outside. So like my routine was really like not a good routine at all, because it wasn't consistent. I had some things that I did every morning, but it wasn't nothing like...
You told yourself you had to or something?
Not even that. Like it wasn't anything that was beneficial, I think. Like it was just like, these are the things like I do when I wake up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when I didn't have a full-time job, because that part of part of my, towards the end of when we lived there, I ended up picking up a job where I worked at Amazon, and that kind of changed my routine again. But before then, I would wake up around 9, which fucking late, but whatever. Sometimes I feel like that's really late, except if it's not the weekends. But yeah. I would make coffee immediately for Logan and I, and then we would sometimes either shower first or take Harley out. And by that time, it was like probably like 10:30 because we would like take forever to actually like wake up. Mm-hmm. And that just felt late. And then we were scrambling to get ready, or like for Logan, she would like scramble to get ready to go to work, which felt really chaotic. Yeah. And then I was just left at home with like a messy apartment, and then I would have to clean and just like not have any time for myself. I didn't prioritize my mental health, so I didn't do any reading. I didn't do any like meditating or anything. I just kind of stayed home. I either called Sam to like work, or sometimes I would literally just watch TV or like look for jobs or whatever. Sometimes I would take Harley out again and take a walk. But there was like no structure to my day, and I think it was really bad for my mental health. Yeah. That's about it.
So, not a good old routine.
Not at all.
Pretty much non-existent, it sounds like. So, pre-COVID, my routine probably started at probably realistically 9, because I had later days. Mm-hmm. So, I'd start at 9 and then just shower, eat breakfast, rush to go to work. And I worked from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. sometimes till midnight. It honestly depended. And then there was also just the some days you do work the crazy hours, and some days you only work half, and then I go home and I call Mel, or I call Mel in the middle of the day from 12 to 4 or whatever. We
recap what we need to do separately.
Yeah, little things, and then I'd go home at night, work on the things we talked about that I was going to get done, and then I'd wake up and do the whole thing. So I also was not prioritizing my mental health at all. I did nothing that was beneficial for myself except work. That's basically all I was doing for at least 6 months. It was wild.
I feel that, dude.
It was quite a time.
It's funny because, in the moment, I don't think both of us thought about it. But, number one, that just sounds so chaotic for our own business. It doesn't sound at all like we were trying to achieve anything, really. But I don't know, because I feel like we had moments where we would sit down and just work all day, about just go-getter. But I feel like even that wasn't fucking good. I don't know. Yeah. There's weird shit, just... Not good.
I just feel looking back, it feels like we were floaters. We were just floating through the days, trying to be productive, going through our own just graduated college crisis.
Yeah, mess.
Life changes. It was a lot.
It was a lot. Don't blame us.
I guess before that we were going to college, which was a pretty set routine.
That was super rigid. Not rigid, I guess. It was pretty rigid.
We had a fucking 8 a.m. our senior year.
Yeah. We made the most of it, though.
We had a lot of fun.
We had fun, and we fucking worked out all the time.
Damn, that was nice.
I don't feel like we were fit, but
we were not fit.
We were not fit, but we worked out every day.
We were healthier.
True. I honestly feel like I had a lot more energy back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't drink coffee then, and we were waking up at 6:45 a.m.
I was drinking coffee.
I don't know, I wasn't. Just eat breakfast, we'd work out. We'd probably hit a wall midday, though.
No, totally.
For sure. But
nothing like these days.
Yeah, no. We didn't know what was hitting us.
Okay, and then now, during COVID, or mid-COVID, as you would want to call it. So right before COVID hit, I think I already had COVID when it happened, but I also lived in Seattle. But we started to move out of our apartment, and we moved into Logan's sister's house. And at this time, that's when everything blew up about COVID. And we were all stuck inside or whatever, and we were all really scared to end up just fucking couch potatoes and just watching TV, because I think for the first couple of days when we were all together, that's what happened, and we were also just scared, so we were just comforting ourselves with things that.
Social media was hella
it was really overwhelming.
They were hey, you're off work now? Do something about it. Start a side hustle. Work out. Do yoga.
It was just intense productivity that was coming my way, and I was I'm scared.
You absorbed that shit.
So then I guess we all had a discussion, and we were we should start doing stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. So her sister had a really structured morning routine that it consisted of meditation and waking up early or trying to wake up early and stuff like that. Logan and I, like I said, we had just transitioned from over to having no routine really to wanting to do something. So we would start waking up like around 8:30 at that point, maybe 8 sometimes. And immediately we would take Harley out this time so we can get like a breath of fresh air because we would be inside most of the day. So wanted to start our morning off solid. And then we would make coffee and then right after just like do some 10-minute yoga to start our like morning and feel like good about our body. And then we would shower, get ready, and then just start working. So at that point, I started my full-time job at Amazon, and I would start working then. And then sometimes, like, right after I would check my emails, I would call Sam and be like, hey, what are we doing today or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a lot better, for sure. I felt like doing some yoga in the morning really helped stimulate, like, my body and my mind to just feel, like, a lot more awake and a lot more present with what I needed to do that day, which then like also led to me like feeling a lot more motivated to like work out in the evening time, which we had also like created a pretty cute schedule with like her sister and her sister's boyfriend. Super fun. But that was a lot better. I still felt like, you know, not 100% about it. I mean, I still don't feel about my current one, but
it's also just like a COVID thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it just looms over you. Like I can't
do much.
I literally can't do what I want.
Right.
So
it was progress though. What about yours?
Yeah. I think at the beginning of COVID, it was a hot mess. Like the only real structure I had was my walks, which I started doing. And I think I started doing them before COVID had started, I think.
I don't remember, yeah.
I think
probably.
so. Like just straight up January hit and I was like, let's do this. So I started doing walks, which took like an hour to like an hour and a half, depending on how long I wanted it to be. So I would do that every morning, literally every single day, even on the weekends. For like 3 months I did that. And then I stopped doing weekends after a while. But, so I was doing that. And then call Mel, work on whatever we needed to do. That usually took up like most of my day. And then at night, my mom would just buy lots of rosé.
Yeah, I remember. I was gonna say I didn't want to say it, but I was like, I remember you drinking wine every single day.
Pretty much every day, I was drinking a glass of rosé. It was not good. I mean, it was great. It was fun. I'm glad it's not every day now because that was a lot. And it wasn't like, oh my God, I need a glass of rosé. It was just like, bro, I'm stuck inside. This is stupid. Like, why? Why? So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to paint. I'm going to drink rosé. Like, literally, I would just do something that was great for my mental health, like painting, journaling, take a bath.
That's nice.
Just hang out.
It's not a bad thing at all.
Me, myself, and I. And then, like, my parents would be there. Like, I'd listen to music, tune out their Netflix show, whatever they're watching.
Just hang out with them at the same time.
Yeah, it was like, there was like good quality bonding time in that routine, along with lots of like
reflection.
Wasn't reflection necessarily, because I wasn't doing any like actual work
just
inside.
Like
I think it's
like just
self-exploration.
Okay.
I was exploring what I had just gone through.
Right.
Exploring what I want to do next.
I think you were just like recognizing yourself and like your current status and everything.
I was just doing a lot of thinking about who I was, who I am, who I wanted to be.
No action yet, just
but
thinking.
I wasn't even like being all intuitive and reflective about it. That's why I'm calling it exploration.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't being like, oh damn, like you should really think about like you should really work on that.
Like, oh, that's a thought.
I'm just like, that thought flew in and flew out. Like, okay. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what it was at the beginning. Oh, and I also wrote painting and puzzles.
Yeah.
Classic. I didn't bake bread, really. Not that much. Sometimes. And then when you moved, which was still like the middle of COVID. When you moved, that again shifted my routine. I was still doing the working out. Having solid meals, I wrote. That's clearly very important to me. Having solid meals.
I mean, that is important.
Yeah. I'm just like so random. And none of my other ones talk about
meals.
Talk about meals.
I started eating good.
I started eating better. And then we're at now. So.
I was going to add, though, like, I didn't even think about when I moved.
Oh, yeah, you should probably add what you did.
It was basically the same. Like, the 10-minute yoga thing was great. Only now I was doing it outside because in Seattle, we didn't have really, like, an outdoor area to do anything. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I was doing it in my backyard, my mom's backyard. And we no longer, like, took Harley out anymore because she just had a big backyard and also a front yard to go to the bathroom. Just let her out really quick. Yeah, it was a lot less structured. I think the only thing that did change was that, like, now Logan and I spent more time with my family. And that, like, looked different, I guess, because, like, with Brittany and Chris, we would work out and then we would watch a lot of Love Island. And then now with my parents, we would just hang out and talk mostly. Sometimes watch a movie, but
nice.
Yeah. Forward to today, I've incorporated a lot more mental stimulation into my routine. Like I said, it's not perfect, not where I want it to be necessarily, but one of the things that I started doing, like I said, is I've started reading more, which now I do every single morning, and I don't really skip that unless it's like the weekend. Sometimes I do, but I try to keep that even consistent through the weekend because I feel like it really helps me just stay in a grounded place. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But my mornings start at 7:30 now, which is fairly early. I do want to go earlier. But I just like having a lot of like me time in the morning because I feel like it preps me for a better day. And I don't like scrambling for time to get ready and whatnot. But yeah, so wake up 7:30. We like cuddle with Harley for like 10 minutes because she like likes to come up to our bed and like she pretends that she's so sleepy.
She's like, I'm still sleeping, guys.
Yeah, for real. And then Logan and I will either make matcha or coffee depending on how tired we are. I'm really trying to wean off the coffee train again because I was at one point just drinking matcha and that felt better, but we're getting there. So then after that we sit and read and either we'll journal or what we've been doing is if we don't journal, we like read the manifestations that we've written like the previous days, which I haven't written a new one in like a week, but I would make sure to read the ones that I already wrote. That honestly has felt really good. And I mean, like my manifestations aren't crazy big things, but I do see them manifesting slowly into my life just from me having a better outlook on like my morning routine, which is, it's crazy to think that they have such an impact. Like your morning routine has such an impact on your day, but it does. And then after that, we take Harley out, shower, which taking Harley out was like really short walk. Not very good. And then we shower, get ready, tidy up the house, and then I get started on work, which either means driving to Sam's house or waiting for her to come here. And in that time, like I'll make breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
That's basically my morning. And then we work, and then I come home, or I stay here, and Sam leaves, and I make dinner.
Vice versa, whatever. My current routine, just compared to Mel's right now, it's just, you guys are gonna laugh. I put absolute shit show.
I feel like you say that, but I feel like you do have something of a morning routine. You're just like not acknowledging it at all. Or am I completely just wrong?
I think you're totally wrong. I think it seems like I do because I'll text you back and you think I'm like...
like, damn, this girl got her morning started.
I'm like half awake. I am not making breakfast, talking to you in my workout clothes anymore. Like, I'm dead. Anyways, my schedule now, my routine, she's messed up.
That's okay.
I need a scapegoat, so it's going to be the holidays. And it's not my fault. It's just the holidays. It's crazy. But really, though, it got thrown off.
It honestly did fuck us up, though, I think.
Yeah. Like, it turned into, even before the holidays, it was like Thanksgiving. Right before Thanksgiving, that's when my grandma was in the hospital. So, like, that threw off our schedule.
Yeah.
Because I was going to the hospital instead. And then, obviously, you know, things follow. And then it's the holidays. And then it's, like, everyone's trying to plan COVID things to figure out. Like, it's, like, this whole thing. Whatever. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I fucking let it slide. I shouldn't have let my routine slide, but I did.
Dude, it's okay. I feel like the things that happened, how could you not? You know, like, how could you not just want to, like, sleep in or, like, do nothing in the morning?
Yeah. Else.
It's fine.
Also, we got Animal Crossing.
That was also a thing, and
Like a solid.
that takes part of my day for sure.
I have to.
You have to check your island.
You need to check up on them.
Yeah.
Something big might happen while you're gone.
That's all right.
That's my current routine. No, it's not. I mean, I didn't even say. So basically what I do, I try my best to go to sleep before midnight. That's how bad it is right now.
You're sleeping like past midnight these days? Or at midnight?
Not usually. Like my goal.
What time are you in bed?
11:30.
Okay, not bad. Not too bad.
And then it depends on what I do. If I play Animal Crossing for 30 minutes, I might be on my phone for 30 minutes. I might watch something on TV for 30 minutes. So, like, my goal is to be asleep before midnight. It doesn't always happen. But the latest I fall asleep isn't like 4 a.m. It's like 1.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not too bad.
It's not, like, terrible. And then my alarm's at 8:30. Never wake up at 8:30. I always wake up at 9. But before I was waking up at 7:30. Like, no problem getting up, working out, doing my whole freaking thing. So I'm like, you're just stupid.
Bro.
So I move in 30-minute increments when I'm trying to get back on my routine.
That's smart.
So once I'm like comfortably waking up at 8:30, at least like waking up, which I feel like now I'm like, okay, like I can wake up. I'll move it back to 8. And then I'll move it back to 7:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing. And it also helps. Like on my phone, I have like my set time I want to fall asleep by to get this amount of hours of sleep.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when it yells at me and I'm like not actually asleep.
Yeah, it's like your bedtime reminder. It's like, oh my
You
god.
too.
It's like, I'm busy.
Checking my
Oh my
island.
god. But yeah, and it's basically, and then work, all that stuff's the same. But yeah, I don't have any extra time for like working out.
Just more like you wake up, get your needs met by like eating, showering,
Brushing
your teeth, and doing whatever you gotta do.
Yeah. And it's like to the point, even when I have time, I'm like, I don't want to work out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything extra. Like, I just want to relax now that
Yeah.
I'm awake. So yeah, I'm in a limbo. Not my ideal schedule.
I feel like you're a person to get back into it though quickly.
Yeah, I will. I'm not worried, but I'm just like, I hate it.
Like I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Want to. But it also just helps, one, now that you don't have Amazon either, we can figure out what our act, because we had like a really good schedule for a second.
Yeah.
Like when we were saying like Mondays were for admin, Tuesday, like all that stuff. So I think we're gonna like refigure that out again. And plus like the website. Like we just have so much going on right now. It's hard to like do certain like only specific
I
things.
think we need to like find a schedule or a routine.
In Glowing Hour, we're gonna talk about what our actual ideal routine
would look like. Yeah.
Yes. And hopefully what we share is something we can achieve. Also, we have polls on Instagram.
Yeah.
You guys participated in them. So we'll see what you guys say about routines. It's a good point on keeping us accountable. Maybe we should actually keep ourselves accountable and have to post when we do certain things. Like once a week.
We post our morning routine.
Tea.
Like Sam's day of morning routine or whatever.
Yeah, like it's Monday. I'll do my... Not Monday.
She said,
not Monday, though.
She's saying Monday.
Wait a minute. Don't give me Monday.
Honestly, I kind of want Monday, so I'm like, bitch, you gotta do it.
Okay, you can have Monday.
No, wait.
I regret it.
I regret it. We'll talk about it.
We'll see y'all there.
All right, we're back. So today, nothing much interesting in our cups. Just got some. Actually, I guess they're kind of interesting, but we don't have an interesting flavor of them.
Yeah.
So Logan made me buy her some Bud Light seltzers that are like holiday themed during the holidays. Had some nasty ass flavors like peppermint patty, ginger snap, cranberry. I forgot the other one, but we got cranberry in here.
We're hoping cranberry's the best one.
Sounds like a safe bet. But
yeah, let's see. Yeah, I
casual.
mean, it's like a White Claw.
Yeah.
Just a different flavor.
Just a different flavor. Yeah. So we're going to go over what our
ideal routine would look like.
Right. So,
you want to start with that or you want me to start with it?
You can start.
Okay. In an ideal world, I feel like we're going to make it a very like cut and dry sounding routine, you know?
Yeah.
Which I sort of, but I guess I'm going to say the whole routine. And then I'm going to say what I actually, like, want my, like, dead set things have to be every week. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, ideally, I'd wake up at 7:30 in the morning, and then I'd work out. No specific, it doesn't have to be a specific workout, whatever I decide to do that day. Eat breakfast, shower, then I got to get ready for the day. And then that would be my leave for work or start working, depending like how we set our schedules now. Like either you come here, I go there, or whatever. And then having lunch around 1 or 2, because I mean, even if I wake up at 7:30, work out, shower, by the time I'm ready for like work, it's probably like 9:30, which is like late to start work for like some people, I guess. Like
I'm like, that's fine for me. 10 is great.
Yeah, 10 works for me, and like we get everything done. So I'm like, so I put lunch at 1 or 2, because if we're starting work at 10, I don't want to have lunch at 12 if we've only been working a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then finish working, I put whenever, but ideally 5 to 6 p.m. so that, I have some sort of structure, not working into the night, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Ending the night with something fun, whether it's painting, journaling, self-care, reading a book, since that's part of my goals, or binge Netflix, because that's just good for my mental health, too.
Solid.
Yeah, but what I mean by like my dead set things would be waking up at 7:30, working out. Obviously, I have to eat and shower. I mean, like that's not really a routine thing. It's just like
hygiene.
Whatever. Yeah, it's just hygiene. And then for sure, I need to eat lunch, and then finishing the day by 5 or 6. I feel like those are like the solid things. Because like sometimes at the end of the day, you don't want to do something fun. Like even binging Netflix, you're just like, I don't want to pick something. I just want to go to bed, or like whatever it is, And sometimes, I don't know. I am a very structured person, I feel like. So if I say that's my schedule every day, there's no way you could stick to that every day. But in my own head, I set up these expectations that if I don't do that every day, then I'm fucking up. So I'm trying to make it to where I'm still like giving myself room to breathe, that if I don't have time for the healthiest breakfast that day, or I have to start work later that day or earlier, so I can't work out. Like, let's start with the day earlier.
Being okay with the change.
Like, being okay with change, even in a day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to leave room for.
Yeah. That's really good, because I feel like I have that same issue where, like, I'm either all the way or, like, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Anyway. But, like, I feel like if I'm doing really good on my routine, and then all of a sudden something happens. Like, for example, last week I got my period, and I was just fucking drained for the first like 4 hours I was awake, and in so much pain, and like that threw me off because I've been so consistent with my like reading and my journaling and whatever.
Yeah.
And having that 4 hours just kind of like wiped away was really shitty.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I feel bad. But like, I'm just, like I think it's a restructuring in our own mind that we like need to be okay with like adapting to the changes. Yeah.
Yeah. Even sometimes it's like I make a plan in my head. I have this problem. So bad, but like I make a plan like, oh, well, we said Saturday we're gonna do this, and then all of a sudden like either you changed where it is or who's going where, or like now we're doing a completely different thing. I'm just like, oh my god,
you're like low-key not. The thing is like I feel like we're the same person sometimes. I feel like I have the exact same with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like when when the plans are between us two, like neither of us try to show that. Like I'm just like sitting there like, it's okay, like
we're fine.
Everything's fine.
But then I think we both know it stresses each other out. So
we're like, hey, no, it's fine.
But also like it's also fine because it is fine.
Because it is, yeah.
We're either like making ourselves better at not caring by telling each other we don't care. Because like it's like now you're being, or vice versa, whatever. It's like when you say it's fine, you're also being like, well, it is fine. But like you're telling yourself,
you're like,
I mean,
shit, yeah. It's
like,
not a big deal.
You're like, yeah, I guess it's not a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
But then we're also making the other person feel better about the plan changing.
Yeah.
So we're like, it's just a win-win.
It's a win-win here.
But yeah, so leaving room in your routine to be okay with change.
Exactly. That's a good. My ideal schedule or ideal routine would start at waking up at 7. I think, not trying to one-up you at all, but like 7:30 has been great for me. I just want to continue to be like more of a morning person.
I feel it.
And again, like you said, like slow increments of like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to get to a point of waking up at 7. Hopefully one day I'll wake up at 6. Who knows? But I don't think that'll happen for a long time. 7 seems great.
7 seems great. We're happy with 7.
We're happy with 7. Making matcha immediately after I wake up, just to kind of like, you know. Also, I've never realized until like recently how like that being a part of my routine is very like, I'm setting up my day by like making my matcha. Like I'm making something straight up. It's like the sensory. Yeah,
what was that thing?
Associative triggers.
Yeah, so it's one of those.
Yeah, it's part of those associative triggers that like again really just helps me, like tasting it and also just like smelling it in the morning. Great. Yeah. So after matcha, I just go about my same routine, like reading and journaling, making sure I journal because I don't do that every day, but I do think that I want to add that into my routine as more of a consistent thing. Mm-hmm. And then I do want to, I think for a while before the holidays, Logan and I were on a really good kick of taking Harley out for a good 30-minute walk where she's like tired, mm-hmm. you know, by the time we come home. And we haven't been doing that consistently, and now kind of her energy is kind of weird. So I kind of want to get that to a point where we're doing that more consistently again. Be great if we had like all the amount of time to do all of these things, but I guess like that also works with me like waking up 30 minutes earlier because I need to add 30 minutes into my day.
For your baby.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then after, I want to use that walk as like kind of a warm up and then come home and do a quick workout and then shower, have breakfast, hopefully have a good breakfast because lately I've just been making like toast or something. So I also want to figure out some better like breakfast meals that are a lot more like hearty so that I don't feel hungry when it's like noon. Mm-hmm. Get ready and then start work by 10. By 10 a.m., which either means drive to Sam or have her come here 10:30. That's fine for me. Mm-hmm. Like she said, I think ending my day at like 5. Hopefully maybe like earlier, but maybe not. Yeah. Just depending on how we end up scheduling our work. And then at nighttime, like after dinner and all that, I do want to take some of these things into my night routine. So like reading and journaling, I want to keep that into my nighttime routine as well.
Would it be like doing it again or like swapping if you...
I think maybe like swapping. Right now what I've been doing is just doing reading and then maybe just reading also what I journaled in the daytime, which I think that might be good. But yeah, I've been wanting to just be reading at night, like right before bed because it does make me tired and also... I don't know. I don't want to be on my phone. Yeah. But other things that I kind of want to like get into are like I had bought in myself a subscription to Masterclass last year, like when the pandemic really hit. And I haven't been really like focusing on that at all. So like lately, I know I've talked about it a few times on here, but like I have like an interest in acting and like an interest in other things like interior design. They have some cute courses on there that like are pretty like interesting. I don't know if they're necessarily like gonna make me an actress or gonna make me an interior designer, but it's really cool to like just take those things as inspiration as well. So I've been slowly adding that into my routine currently, but I want to be more consistent with that. Yeah. And then also one of like these funky goals I made was to watch Sex and the City from start to end because I haven't done that before. I've only like watched episodes here and there. Yeah. And I started doing that and I'm like a good chunk of the first season done. So hopefully that'll be like one of the things I like interchangeably do. You know, when I'm like feeling lazy or whatever.
Yeah, that made me think about like routine wise. This would be like our ideal daily. But then if we changed it to like weekly, maybe we'd say like once a week we would add in and take out or something. Right. So there's like always like that kind of change too if you wanted. Like so if you did a master class, it'd be like at least once a week or once a month. Probably once a month. Like you'd watch whatever. I don't know. Yeah. They're like courses, right?
They're courses, yeah.
Yeah. So you would
finish like one course or whatever.
Yeah, finish a course in a month. Or something like that.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I know it sounds pretty like cut and dry, but like I don't know, I feel like for someone who didn't have a schedule and for you who's like currently trying to get back on one, having kind of like this list to help you even like create your own type of structure and routine could be really helpful. Also, don't feel like you need to be too rigid with it. Like, for example, our routines probably consist of like 3 hours of like time in the morning to ourselves and getting all of our needs met. That's pretty much what you need to do. Just like set up a chunk of time in your morning and make sure that you can get the things that you want to get done in that time. Not
Or
necessarily
your
things you
night.
need to, but yeah.
Or your night.
Or your night routine if you're a night person.
Yeah.
That might be good too.
Because, I mean, you could always, like, say you have to wake up by 6 for work and you're just waking up, rolling out of bed, and getting out the door, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your routine in the morning is just for at least 5 minutes while I brush my teeth, I manifest something. Like, that could be your quick morning. I at least did something. Or on the drive, listen to a podcast. That's, whatever. I don't know. There's lots of different options. I think we're really lucky that we have very similar schedule because we work together, but like that we are okay with those.
Yeah.
So yeah, but definitely figuring out your routine.
Yeah, I would say start small for sure. Make small changes into your routines, and also just figure out what things you want to like. What are those things that feel like quote unquote great work from like what I had explained in the first part of the podcast? Like, what are those things that make you feel inspired or make you feel good?
Yeah.
That you can end your day with or start your day with and set yourself up for a better day. Figure those things out, figure out how to make time for them, and just slowly add them in, Build that dream life. It's hard to prioritize that stuff, totally.
Yeah. And it's okay to get lost like I did.
You'll come back.
You'll come back. I'll be proof. If you guys want us to do the check-ins, maybe not once a week, every week, because that's a lot.
Maybe like every other week.
Yeah, or whatever. Maybe we'll put up a story and you guys can vote if you want to see that. We'll think about it. I don't know. We're still on
edge about it.
But speaking of voting, let's look at those polls that we put up on IG. So
the first question we had asked you guys was, do you think having a routine is important? And I think it looks like 100% of you said yes and agree with us that it is. But it's good to see that everyone feels like they need something structurally there for themselves. I feel like that's really cool and like
also considering overall, I feel like pretty much all these people are creative people.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everyone.
Good to know.
Yeah, so
pretty interesting.
Very nice to know. The next question is, do you have a routine? And 67% of you said yes, and 33% said no. So that sounds about right. I mean, most people have their routine set. Some people do not.
And for those who said no, I'm honestly curious, is it just because you don't? So if you voted yes, but then you say no, is it just because you're on the works? Is that what it is?
Like you're working on it if you said no?
You think they're working on it?
Oh, yeah. They're probably, or they just have no idea where to start.
Yeah.
They don't even know what to change about their lack of routine, I guess.
Yeah.
Next.
If you answered yes to the second question, is your routine a morning-based or a night-based? And I think most of you, 69% of you said morning-based, 31% of you said night-based, which is interesting. I feel like that's pretty accurate to like the people that I know. But it's really crazy to me that some people do enjoy a night routine. I mean, I guess we both have like morning and night routines, but which one do you prioritize more? I feel like morning.
But I mean, I guess maybe it's for the people who do just like would rather just get straight into work, finish earlier, and then have their fun stuff later.
Yeah.
But we had 2 people on that say that both are important, and my sister-in-law Nicole, she said both affect each other.
That's true.
So
that's a good point.
She has a point there, but we can only ask one or the other questions. But it's a very good point.
But that is a good point, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next one was, does having a routine make you feel more organized or more pressured? And everyone said more organized. I really thought somebody was going to
say pressured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like us. Like, it makes us feel better, but then it's a pressuring feeling when
you're not doing it.
When you're not doing it, or you're not, like, on top of every task that you want to get done. That's when it gets, like, pressured.
Yeah.
But I think that's when you need to let go of control and just be like, you know what? I did my best today.
In frame of mind.
Yeah. And that is what it is,
Very true.
This last question that we asked was, has your routine stayed consistent for the past year? And 83% of you said no. 17% of you said yes. 17%, y'all are on some shit.
Wow.
That is insane. Good for you.
You
Absolutely
killed it.
killing it in the game.
Y'all are killing it.
For the 83% of you that said no,
Feel you
100%. I also just feel like my life, maybe other people's lives, have just changed so much in the last year that like it's hard to stay consistent.
Yeah.
When you're like having so much change and shit happen. But
very true.
We'll get back on it, guys. Also, at least if you're like at least doing something consistently and it's changing, I mean, maybe that's not a bad thing, but
yeah, you can jump into change and figure out your new routine.
Period.
Change can be good, as much as it scares me and everybody else. Can be good.
Can be good, guys.
Promise. Excited to be back. I don't know what the heck we're talking about next week.
Don't know what's gonna go on next year.
Next year.
I mean,
we're
period.
already jumping ahead.
But next week. Not that we're running out of ideas. I think we just really, I know we say this every time, but like we would really love some feedback on what you guys want to see because
yes.
We're not running out of ideas. Just don't know what is of interest.
Yeah.
And what you guys want to hear about. But please let us know.
Comment.
DM
us. Text us if you have our numbers.
Let us know.
Like, we know it's a good amount of people who love us and know us, so help. But, yeah, so leave a review if you haven't done that yet. We'll see you in next week's episode.
See you guys.
Bye.